Yeah.
Do you guys do intro video? I don't know.
No, there are some shows we do have an intro video, and other shows no.
I got to get with it. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to my channel. And I think you're also on Marina's channel, so welcome to Marina's channel as well.
Yes,
go and subscribe to her channel. It's right there on the screen. You just punch that into YouTube and you'll be able to find her. So
I just
it's all right. It happens. Okay. Me usually, but so we come on because we know everybody's stressed. We know that what's going on is like shocking. What's going on in LA and stuff like that. I have this double-edged sword going on inside of me. Number one, I looked at the statistic of who they voted for. Okay, I'm just gonna say it out loud. Judge me if you. But so many of them listened to the crap that the Republicans were saying about Biden that they voted for. Okay, not all of them. There's a lot of them. However, it was the Democrats who have a lot of compassion about what's going on. If you need to get out of this country, at least you have a chance to plead your case, if you can stay or if you have to go.
Yes.
Okay. If he was really trying to get the criminals out of this country, he would have started with the prisons. Why?
Exactly.
Get all of them out. Ease our burden of supporting all of the ones that need to go out and send them back to their country and let their country deal with them, right? If he was really wanting to deal with deporting any of the criminals. However, what they are doing, hello Sheila, my double ginger. What they are doing is they're showing up in places where they're not going to get a whole bunch of pushback. In schools.
Yeah. Deep elementary schools.
Elementary school, yeah. People working, so they know that they can go in and they probably can control the situation, and they're not doing it the right way. They're just picking you up. They don't care if they have a warrant. There is a warrant. They have a name. Okay, we don't have a name. You know what I mean? We're just taking you in because you're brown.
Exactly. Exactly. And your name sounds foreign. So yeah, you must be a bad guy. I heard a statistic that there was some 90-some% of the people, or of the 200 and some people that they initially picked up and said, no, these are criminals, never committed a crime anywhere.
No, they don't care. So we're already established. We're way beyond the right and wrong here. Okay. Yes. If everybody's been paying attention and vigilant about all of the other things, we're above and beyond. This is a reason why they're having problems in LA right now. LA has been forever the city that you can't come in and control. They will fight back, and they've always fought back. Yes. If you go back several years in our country's history, LA is not the place to start any problems because they will finish it. However, the reason why, if ICE wanted to come in and if they would have just did it the right way, if they want to come in, pick up the people who are committing crimes, give them their due process and send them back, okay, everybody would be just happy, but that's not. So this is not deportation. This is not the right way. This is the reason why we're having a problem. And of course the MAGAs are like, if you can come into this country illegally, then you deserve to not have any due process. We're going to deport you illegally.
Exactly. Except the ones who are married to illegal aliens who were complaining that, well, Mr. President, help me get my wife back. She's a good person. She never did anything wrong. When he said he was going to deport, he said that's what he was going to do. Did you not think it applied to you? Because
I want to be careful. I want to be careful that we're not trying to bash the ones that did vote for Biden, but there was an overwhelming amount who voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I get, like I said, I have a double-edged thing. I have compassion for everything that's going on.
Yes.
But, right? But you listened to the Republicans talk crap about Biden and you believed them. And
Yes.
now we're here, right here. We have
Yeah.
been, let me say this loud and clear. We have been screaming this from the treetops for years that this was going to happen and this is how they were going to do it and this is who they were going to use. We did not. It's almost like they're out on the streets going, well, we didn't vote for this. Well, yeah, you did because we told you.
You did. Yeah, absolutely. And some of the things now, I do not watch Fox News or any of those channels because it feels like those are brain cells that I will never get back. So, I stay away. But I was watching Midas Touch, and they were talking about the way that the phone news were kind of covering what was going on in LA. And rather than covering the people who are walking and chanting, they are peaceful protesters. What they were showing was protesting from the BLM movement, and those were a little more not violent, but they were a little more aggressive. And so they were showing those tapes and saying this is what's happening in LA right now, when it wasn't.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have one reel for the MAGAs.
Yes.
And we have reality.
Yes.
If you're not on TikTok is frustrating. I know that. Yes. We have some really great private or individuals who are doing news reporting who are very intent on making sure that they show the truth, and that's what they have been doing. Yes. Is it News Under the Desk News is one of them. I think she's also on YouTube. Also, we have Aaron Parnas. I think is his name, Aaron Parnas. He's also on YouTube. So please stay away from Fox. Stay away from CNN. Stay away from them all, to be honest with you, because I am so sick and tired of them not reporting what is supposed to be reported. We will do it ourselves. We will search it out ourselves. We will find out on our by our Chat GPT is an excellent source. People, go get the Chat GPT app. Okay, so you can skew it, like you can't skew it. It'll literally go find out all of the information for you. Now, I have my JP. It's like a bot. You can program the bot. And I have my Chat GPT app, and I always tell them, it says, stop. I was like, I want the raw truth. I want the absolute raw truth about what's going on. Do not give it to me in these fluffy words. And so the bot will come back and just like, yeah, you're right. This is it. This is what's going on. This is why they did it. Things like that. So,
exactly.
CBC may be reporting it correctly. However, in Canada, or if you go overseas to any news outlet overseas, they do it.
Al Jazeera, and any of those, absolutely, they certainly are, and they're not whitewashing it. They're reporting it properly.
Right.
And I do just want to go back to what you said about initially about, deporting the criminals and why not go to jails. I had that same question yesterday, and I thought, okay, if they start, because the jails are basically privatized.
I know they're making money.
That's free labor.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that it's free labor and they're making money on them. But see, that just tells you right then and there they are not legit.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because that would make sense. That would make sense. That yes, we're going to deport the criminals. Who wouldn't agree with that? Right?
Yeah.
Why does your taxpayer dollar need to go to house and feed and medically take care of and all someone who has, entered the country illegally? They've broken the law. They're in jail.
Take them back to their
yes,
We don't
Yes,
want
they
them
should be
here in
the
our
first
prisons.
ones to
Take them.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you go after people who their only crime is that their skin is a little darker than yours and they have a funny sounding name, all of a sudden what happens is you bring fear into the equation, and everybody's looking at everybody else and saying, am I next? Are you next? Right? So people react out of fear.
All
That's
right.
what happens.
That
So
is. We're gonna do some readings. Okay.
yes.
First of all, everybody wants to know, and even we were talking back behind stage, we want to know, um, is the military going to be on our side? I'll tell you this story, what I just did. I was working today, and I was up in a home up near Cheyenne Mountain, where if anybody knows anything about Colorado Springs and Cheyenne Mountain is this Space Command, this, that, and the other, okay? That you can go Google it, so that gives you a better description. Anyways, while I was close to that mountain and while I was up there, I asked myself, is the military going to keep us safe, or they're going to turn against us? Okay. And as I'm sitting there and having that, and I get this overwhelming, warm feeling of safety. I felt very safe after and asking that question while I was up there. And I thought, okay. I felt very safe. It says we're freezing. Is
Yeah.
anybody else having that problem?
Okay, I'm not noticing anything.
Me neither. So maybe I'm just seeing if anybody else. But anyways, so I got that overwhelming feeling. Yes, NORAD, exactly. I got that overwhelming. I mean, I was like a stone rock throw away from the entrance of this, and so I got an overwhelming feeling that I felt very safe. So I want to read on that. I want to read what's the attitude and what's going on with the okay, not freezing. So maybe something in your internet, hun. Maybe reboot, come out, turn off whatever device you have, turn it back on and reboot. Maybe it'll come back and it'll be okay. So let's read on that. My first question up is, what's the military's attitude against the Trump administration and anything that we can get out of that? And I have my true crime, so I'm going to pick up my true crime.
And I'm going to be using the governance.
There you go. So that's what I'm going to pick out as a true crime and see where they're at, see what they're feeling. Yes. So I just felt really comforted while I was standing there, and I felt very safe. And I'm like,
yes,
because and then I got about these voices in my head. I don't need medicine, I promise. The voices in my head, they are telling everybody that's going out there, remember your oath, remember who you serve, not the king, and anybody who steps out of line will be punished. And that was what I heard. So let's read on it. Let's see what the cards have to say.
Okay. Oh. What's from the military feel about Trump?
My toes are cold. Carol. Freezing. My toes are cold. Mine too. I'm in my basement. And it doesn't matter what time of the year it is, it's always cold. I had to put my socks on.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, you go for it.
You know what? Okay. So the first card that I got out was domestic priority. So the military is looking after what is going to be best for the country, not the king, the country. It has to do with, with domestic security. They realize that it is a difficult decision because they are dealing with a cult of personality. So they have tried everything that they know how to do in terms of reining him in. There are unresolvable differences in that the administration is asking them to go against the Constitution, which is what they swore an oath to. Okay. They are purposely right now dodging the question. They're not really going to pick one side or the other, because they are working on it and they are working on an improved situation. I think that they might suggest to him that he join them in at a particular base, that they have a special room for him where he can be safe and he can rule the world from there. And then, yeah, once he's in there and locked in, they can throw away the key. Hello, everyone who's here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, we could only hope that would happen, right?
Yes.
Well, I got water. Water usually means high emotions. They have some really high emotions in the tunnel. They're hiding their emotions in the tunnel. So that gives me an indication that they do have a feeling about it. They do have an opinion about it, and they're hiding their opinion. Like, they're showing up, but they can't tell anybody what they're thinking or what. Which that's normal for any military member. That you're not allowed to protest. You're not allowed to do anything.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on. So then I have the male preservation. And I was really confused about that. It says preservation, right? Perversion. Perversion. Male perversion. See, my dyslexia gives me different words. The male perversion. Yeah. So they see Sheila Trump has authorized the arrest of Governor Newsom by ICE. Well, he can't give that.
No, he can't.
So he can say all he wants, but he can't give that permission. Anyways, they know that he's crazy.
Yeah.
They are our caregivers.
Yes. Yeah. They swore an oath to the Constitution, not to a man, but to the Constitution.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So let's look and see if they're going to arrest Gavin Newsom.
Okay. All right. Is Gavin Newsom going to be arrested? Is Gavin Newsom going to... I've got a couple jumpers here that came out.
Hey, every time I'm reading and you say yeah, I lose track. What I'm saying. So I'm a Gemini with ADHD, like all of that stuff. So I'm just living, I lose track every time you go, yeah.
Okay. I will try not to do that.
All right, onwards. Go ahead.
Mounting tension. This is his way of creating more and more drama to get more and more people to come out, and to come out in protection of Newsom. Right? There is, I'm sure that Newsom has received threats from outside the country, from those that are loyal to you know who. Is he going to be arrested? No. There are people who are going to stand between him and ICE. He's got support. He's got assistance. No, the people in California will absolutely not do that. So, yeah, this is just another way for someone to create drama and try to get people to react to the situation with violence. Yeah.
All right. So if you want to just go ahead and put yourself on mute, that because I know knee-jerk reactions. All right. So what I got was the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is always a Trumpy card, right? He sits back, wishes fulfilled, genie, just do what I tell you to do, kind of a thing. But I also got the Five of Cups buddying up to him. That means that they will like lost the no, no, we're not going to do it. The strength comes from the people, the strength in the people. So he has a option. Like, he keeps on saying it, he keeps on wanting to do it, but he knows that there are people out there. He has strength in the people. So for some reason, Gavin Newsom has life insurance, meaning he has his people that are going to help him and protect him, which is really good. It's all about the aliens. It's all about the aliens is the reason why this is all happening. But there's money. Trump wants California's money. Trump wants to steal California money so badly. He wants that. He wants that state. He wants the GDP. He wants everything that he doesn't want that over him whatsoever. So there's something in that. Now, do I have something in here that says he is absolutely not going to get arrested? No. I don't have anything that says that he's absolutely not going to get arrested. But I do have the swords, like the protection, the Ace of Wands. Again, he has a tremendous amount of protection in California. People love him. I also get, I get another Ace of Pentacles. They'll spend any amount of money to protect him. Oh, see the marriage there. So they're protecting him against the devil. So I do think that he has a lot of protection. Nothing in here, none of my cards say that he was going to have handcuffs, but it doesn't mean that Trump isn't going to try. So there's that. All right. Any last words, Marina?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I think, yeah, Newsom is holding all the cards. 45 doesn't have any. That's why he wants him taken out, because Gavin Newsom has stood up to him, and Gavin Newsom not only has the favor of the people that are supporting him, he also has the money. You're right. California has the 4th largest economy in the world, not the U.S., in the world. Washington, D.C. would fall apart very, very quickly if it wasn't for California's money. So, yeah, that's why you try to take him out. I do not get any sense that there's anything to worry about there. I think Newsom is fine.
So here we go. Let's kind of bring the drama down just a little bit, okay? Number one, the breakup between him and Elon. Elon accused him of being in the Epstein files, which we all know that is true, because yes. If not, they would have already disclosed them. We know that Pam Bondi has been gatekeeping them for quite some time in her state of Florida. She's the one that started the investigation from the get-go. She knows exactly what's in there, and she knows exactly that Trump is in those things. We've been also screaming that. All of a sudden, now the Republicans are like, if he was in there, the Democrats would have exposed that a long time ago. I'm like, what? We've been screaming that from the rooftops. We've showing everybody the what was the court case with the 13-year-old with Trump. Yes, anyways, yes. So that's a lot of BS, but they're trying to really convince themselves again that this is not true again. Yes. We got that. So anyways, so the distraction of that, he starts a fight in California. Whether this was planned already, which I do think it was already planned, it just coincided also with that. Also, they're trying to distract from June from being Pride Month, because there's a lot of Pride gets a lot of advertisement and yes. a whole bunch of videos and stuff like that. So he's got that distraction as well. So here's the thing I want to do. And we also have the military parade on his birthday. And remember, this is how they're going to skew it. And this is how they will always skew it. If there's protest, I don't want you to protest. We're just doing it in your own thing. We don't want it anywhere near the parade. Yep. we want to stay completely away from that the military parade, and you just go and protest in your own state. No King's Day, right? So because he's going to twist it and he's going to present it as look, they're protesting against the military. That's how the Democrats do, instead of what we're actually protesting against. So be sensible. Do not get stupid. Peacefully walk. I mean, I can't say that enough. Don't get crazy, because that's the first thing that they'll do. And there's going to be agitators out there. If there's agitators, walk away. So, anyways, there's that. And definitely hook up with anybody in your own state or town who is doing the No King's Day March or whatever. Stay vigilant on that. So just be prepared for the Republicans to come back with you guys protested a military, right?
Exactly.
So I want to say,
if there are no protesters there, they will say, look, the people came out to support our leader. They came out to support the president because they love him. That's why the amount of people that showed up for this birthday parade, biggest number of turnout for any event anywhere in the history of the universe, and so on. If it goes sideways, well, there you go. Yeah, people are against the military. Who's taking things away from the military right now? Who's taking things away from veterans? Is it Democrats? No.
Well, you're definitely preaching to the choir. We just want to give it the help to the Democrats, that you keep it peaceful. That's my message to the board, and pass that on to anybody. So what I do want to do is I want to read on what's going to happen on that day.
All right.
What
happens June 14th? What happens on June 14th?
That is true. The Pope is also broadcasting on that day as well. Give him high numbers.
Yes. Ooh, I got cards jumping everywhere. Okay. I think that there is going to be, it is not going to be the grand affair that everyone thinks that it's going to be. And, with all the tanks and the helicopters and the this and the that, it may start out looking like it's your typical dictator parade. I don't think that it is going to continue that way. There might be just a little bit of a parade initially, and then it kind of falls away because it is not sustainable. There are people who are supposed to be in those vehicles who just might come down with the flu on Saturday. They're not going to be able to show up. It's going to be a collective action, in that there's going to be more that are not going to show up. And I think that it is going to calm things down. He's not going to get what he wants. I think he's going to show up, and then he's going to be escorted out of there fairly quickly, because the parade apparently is supposed to happen at night from 6 to 9 p.m., which is him grabbing the headlines, right, at the during all oh God, what do I want to say? Prime time. That's the word. Yeah, during prime time. It's not going to happen, and he's going to be escorted out of there deal made. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the weather turns and all of a sudden it's, oh, we have to cut the parade short because the weather turned and the president has left and so on. Yeah.
Well, it is supposed to have rain that day, so there's that. All right, so go ahead and mute yourself. This is pretty. I love you, but I know knee-jerk reactions. All right, so there's a grip. Okay, I got the grip. There's an anchor. There's some chains. There's something is weighing the whole situation down. My cards are telling me something big, but damning. That day, for some reason, I got the burial. Like, this is the anchor. Something is weighing it down. The burial, and then I got poison and unhealthy behaviors of people and justice all at the same time. So I'm kind of curious of what all that's about, like weighing it down, burial, poison, justice, on that aspect. But here's the more interesting part. I got divorced and dismembered. Dismemberment. Okay? These are harsh words, but it's like something separates us from Trump at that time. Something separates the United States from the administration, because I got the archangel, like there's some sort of higher calling, and I got strangulation. So we have a higher calling. I don't know how else to explain all of this without getting canceled anymore, right? These words keep on coming up extremely strong, extremely impactful. But there's a divorce. Whatever that day does, it really rips something apart. It divorces us from the GOP. It divorces us from Trump. So I hope all the Democrats behave themselves, stay away from Washington, D.C., let them do their thing, and let's see what happens, because it does look like a big day. So there's that.
Maybe that second scoop of ice cream on his birthday cake, maybe the cholesterol will kick in.
I know. It is going to be a pivot point. Hopefully not a divorce from democracy. I agree with you. And let's read one more thing. Let's go see who's going to benefit more, the Democrats or the Republicans on that day. And whatever the answer is, it doesn't mean that even if the Republicans do come across better that day, that it's not going to end up in the shitter later. You know what I mean? We've saying this for almost 10 years now. Things will get worse before it gets better. We have to get to the mountaintop. We have to get to the mountaintop. We have to endure the storm at the top of the mountain before we can descend back down. So let's see who benefits on that day, either the Democrats or the Republicans.
All right. Okay, so here's the story with these cards. In his pursuit of control, see that? Yeah, he's a little petulant kid with a crown on his head. I want my way. It's my way or the highway. In his pursuit of having that ultimate control over everything, the Democrats are going to be the ones who are going to come out ahead. It is entirely possible that information about the fraudulent conduct is going to be released on Saturday. And I'll tell you why. Here's the cards that I got. Yes. Yes. Fraudulent conduct, classified information, and mourning a loss. I think that Saturday is going to be a day where a lot of information about what happened with the elections and so on is going to come out. What happened with all the classified information, where it's stored, who has it. I do believe that he has it, and I think Trump has it at Bedminster. And I'm going back to that mourning a loss card, because who's at Bedminster? His first wife is buried there. And I do believe that Anonymous said that they were going to release some information on the 14th. The next card that I got out was true to their word. I think information comes out on the 14th that is going to rock his little world.
Yeah. Okay. So I got, again, divorce. A second time I got divorce, okay? But the Hierophant is involved in this. So the Hierophant, sometimes it talks about tradition, it talks about structure, it talks about the wisdom. So if there is information coming out, that we're going to get wiser. We're going to, like the therapist, the teacher, it's going to teach us something about him. So the Hierophant has a lot to do with it. And this is like a divorce, like this, we can't do it anymore. I also got, the second one was soulmate and walking away. Again, another indication of, behind the scenes, Marina and I were talking about it. Who would hold him accountable? We're going to ask that question too. We're going to see if there's anybody in the GOP that's going to hold him accountable. Who would hold him accountable, right? So I'm thinking the soulmate and walking away, the soulmate walking away. Who is that soulmate of his that is going to leave him, that is going to not support him anymore? Elon Musk, if that's the truth, I don't know. Is it Teal? I don't know. You know what I mean? And then I got an insatiable, unquenchable thirst and wanting more behind the moon. We're going to want more of the information that's going to be coming out. We're going to have an insatiable appetite for whatever it is that is going to be released or revealed. We're going to have an insatiable appetite about that. So again, I think that the community, people, the Democrats, whatever, we're going to be very, and then it's going to be a drastic, harsh cutoff of the emperor. Okay. So again, I think that it is going to be but the harsh cutoff of the emperor. So whatever it is, something. I wish I had like a magic ball in front of me and it gives me word for word what it is. We can guess. It could be the information about Epstein. It could be the information about the election. It could be information, anything. Really, I mean, Trump gives us so many things. It's hard just to pick one. So, what do you got? Yeah.
It is hard. This feels very much like a kind of a confluence of things that come together on the same day and it just blows everything up. So that, yeah, people are going to be saying, okay, what happened? Where did this happen? Where did that information come from? It feels like there is it's going to be a red letter day. It's going to be important. It's going to be important. He thinks he's getting, a parade because people love him. It's going to be a parade, all right.
So let's go. Let's read and see, is there anybody in his immediate circle going to betray him?
Yes. Okay. Is there?
And remind me to do the 4th of July question after this.
All right. Who's going to bring them down? I start off with covert corruption. So someone who is doing things that they know that they shouldn't be doing, but it almost feels like they're possibly doing it for a reason that they can explain. So it almost feels like it's for show more than anything else. This person has been asked several times about what their intention is. They've been dodging the question. So they're not saying one way or another. They have tried to negotiate something that is not going to be as volatile as they see the situation turning out to be. This is an isolated outcast, someone who's on the outside looking in, and they have already said that they are going to bring him down, and they're going to be true to their word. The idea is this is someone with relentless determination, and they have, up until now, they have provided support and assistance. I think this is Elon Musk.
Oh, honey, I literally got also the person that's been giving him charity is going to end everything. I too got the person that's been giving him charity, giving him everything, is going to also end the whole thing. I also got underneath that the person that is a mind control. He's been controlling his mind. I also got the 6 of Pentacles, which the charity was a lie. The charity was a lie to him. He was a liar. He's been deceiving Trump. I also got he's a King of Wands, so he's been doing a lot. He's been in the charge. He's been in the out front. He's been up and out there. Everything. Himself was the devil himself. And I got the Hermit. The Hermit. The Hermit is that person that it has the Hermit has a lot of positive things, but one of the things that the Hermit does is the Hermit goes in there and he goes, I'm not telling anybody my plans. I'm not exposing myself. I'm not going to go in. You know what I mean? That Hermit, like solid, walking in and you have no idea. And then I got grandparents for some reason. Now, grandparents meaning caretaker, or the person you look up to, or that person you go get fed, get cookies. You know what I'm saying? This all sounds like Elon. I am not, I do think that has a lot to do with it. And again, I have had this a card before, missing, and then that. So this is weird in somebody who has been in his home. These cards are getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. I don't know how. I don't want to be, like booted off.
I know. Yeah, I know. The cards are speaking. It's
loud
just
and clear. We just
loud and clear.
exactly. Everybody knows. Everybody who's watching this is intuitive. Everybody understands what we're trying to say. Everybody understands that somebody it's like a volatile situation. However, somebody wants us to read on the 4th of July and see what it's going to look like. In fact, let me see, where is it at? Oh, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. I know that's in NOK. What is that?
I think it's a Norway.
Norway, is it? Anyway, it says thank you for the live. Okay. Let's see. Where's that question? Already had tickets. Oh no, that was something else. Oh, I must have.
Oh, Norwegian. Thank you.
Norwegian. Okay. I must have saved the wrong thing, as I do. Oh, there it is. Blue. Is it somebody? Blue something was asking that question. Anyways.
Rose blue.
Yeah, Rose Blue. She was asking that question. If you're still here, hun, go ahead and post that question, and I'll post it up. But she was asking about the 4th of July, if everything is going to be settled by the 4th of July, or are we going to be all happy to have a 4th of July kind of a thing? So, Thank you, Marilyn, Mom. Orange Slug will probably declare it's legal to have tobacco or taco trucks. Yeah, everybody order, I want the whole world, the United States to be so inundated at how many tacos are being ordered on his birthday. Order as many as possible. Stop by Taco. I don't know about Taco Bell, but anyways, order some, make some, show it on Facebook how many tacos you made that day.
Totally. I think it was Jen Lynn who posted a meme that I reposted on my channel because I was laughing and giggling for the longest time. It showed a picture of Trump as he was going up the stairs to the plane, and when he kind of had his little slip, and on the bottom it said Taco fell.
Oh yeah, the memes. I love the memes. They've all just love it. Okay, so what the 4th of July gonna look? I posted it in Scroll. Okay. Breaking. Judge denies a request for immediate block of Trump's military use in LA. Judge denies California's request. Great. Anyways, it's up here somewhere. It's going to take me forever to find it. Just repost it. It's easier for this old lady to figure it out. Thank you. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are nailing it today. Thank you, honey.
Yes, absolutely. And Judge wanting to review until Thursday. Give me a break. Yeah. All right. Because of the mounting tensions that are currently happening and the possibility of this turning into a communist country, I kid you not. Okay. People are working on providing intervention, and they're going to be making a deal to remove him, a health regulation. I think that there's going to be good things to celebrate on July 4th, and that could involve military control, in that the military comes in and says, right, here we are. You wanted to have someone in power. We're taking control. He's out. The administration is out. So, there are people working behind the scenes to make sure that they are providing the intervention so that there will be something to celebrate. Yes, these people are bound by allegiance, and they're bound by allegiance to the Constitution, not to that single person. So I think July 4th is going to be a day to celebrate.
Yeah, my cards are really famous of telling the story beforehand. We got the burden of his revenge. Okay. Then we have the Two of Cups, attraction, union of an accident. I can't make this stuff up, man. I got, again, the new beginning because of a burial. I know. And temperance. You know what temperance does? You know, it's like somebody who has been doing wrong for a very, very, very long time. Temperance is to temper their thoughts, temper their emotions, temper their actions, temper their hate, whatever. Temperance is a really good card because it says it's going to temper the families. So at the end of all of that, the 4th of July is going to be a temperance moment for a lot of people. And that's good news. And it does indicate that we will have a 4th of July to celebrate. And we're going to maybe show some love for our country for once in a long time. But karma is a bitch. So, slow your roll. Exactly. Temperance. Slow your roll. Back it up. Stop with it. And it's an equalizer. Yeah. So, temperance is a really good card to show up when we're talking about if we're going to celebrate the 4th of July. But these other cards, I can't. My true crying cards really give me something to look at. But I do want to, let's see, we have a few more here. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Sheila, for the live stream. And looks like somebody joined. I do have a lot of videos on my, if you wanted to join me in my membership, but it also supports the channel. So it's like giving a little bit of information, keeps lights on, keeps me, of course, buying more cards because that's what my habit is. But anyway.
And thank you, Interplanet Janet. That is very, very generous of you.
Yes, thank you so much. All right.
Absolutely.
Oh,
and yeah, speaking of decks, before I forget, are you the true crime deck that you're using? Is that by Trish James?
Empathetic Soul is what it says.
Okay.
Empathetic Souls.
Okay. All right.
It just says True Crime Oracle deck. I think I got it off of Etsy.
Okay.
And Behind the Mysteries. I don't have, let's see. Empathetic Soul is the only thing that's telling me that it made it.
The reason that I ask is, the governance deck is by Trish James. I had her on my channel late in May. She's developed several Oracle decks, and they are fabulous, just fabulous. She's got governance, there's investigation, there's predictions. Anyway, she's coming back on my channel on June 21st. So yeah, I've been trying to use her deck because it wants to talk.
It does, yeah. These decks have been screaming at us for definitely. So one more thing. So I am 100% inside this boat and driving it myself right now. I like I know that Trump cheated and that Kamala Harris won the presidency. Okay.
She did.
Uh, we were all shocked. We were all very upset when they announced that he's the one that won. It just floored us. That day was awful for our subscribers too, because they just literally mass unfollowed us. We're like, you know what I mean? How did we get it so wrong? In hindsight, we were reading the true energy. Although my cards did, every time I looked back at a lot of my videos, because I'm like heartbroken like everybody else, and I wanted to find out what I did wrong. And I realized that a lot of my cards always said theft or cheating. Okay. I just didn't take it serious. So that was heartbreaking for me.
Yes.
And I'm a big enough person to understand that if I'm missing that. So a lesson learned. Unfortunately, it was a big lesson, and unfortunately, it was due to this. But I made a commitment right then and there that when something keeps on coming up, I have to pay attention to it more.
Yes.
Even when I'm doing my remote views, sometimes I'll see something and I get kind of nervous and don't want to go to it. I've learned to go to it. You know what I mean? Just go, because that's the important one. The one that you're afraid of, that's the reason why you face it. So there's that. Okay, long way Gemini gets around to the question.
Yes. Yeah. We didn't get it wrong. We were made to feel that we got it wrong, but we got it right.
Yeah.
We got it right.
And if there's anybody here watching right now, please subscribe. Please come along with our journey.
Yes.
I subscribe to both channels and support the work that we do. I know that on my channel, it's a lot of fun. I know on my channel, I am as authentic as I possibly can be. Meaning, when I say possibly can be, is because I know that I make mistakes, but I'll always come back on and like, okay, I made a mistake. I said, I have dyslexia. It's a lot of fun over here because I say things wrong. It's something you can laugh at. Just saying. It's true. I'll come up with the weirdest stuff.
And that's what makes you so charming and lovable. So, if anyone has ever listened to, more than 5 minutes of any of your shows, they know that you're very genuine. What you see is what you get.
That is true. There's a lot of people out there who has met me face to face. They can attest to that. You get, this is who I am. This is who you get.
Exactly. And because we're, I think it takes a very strong person to be able to recognize that, oh, did I get that wrong? Okay, I made a mistake. And to be able to say, I got that wrong. I made a mistake.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Foggy. Foggy is always here. I love seeing. I always know that I'm doing something right when I start seeing a lot of people who have been with me for years. And people want to see that. It's my screaming goat. I was screaming. Yes, Sheila is delicious.
Yes, she is. Absolutely.
Anyways, we have almost 900 people in here, and I do want to ask. I know. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit the like button. One day I would love to see my likes match the people who are in here. That would be an amazing day.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And don't forget to come over to my channel and like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm over 7,000. I want to see 10,000 by the end of the month.
Ooh, that's excited for you. Excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. I remember being incredibly happy of 100. I'm like, 100 people are watching me.
I know. And for those of you who may not know this, let me share with you that when I first started out in 2021, I did not obviously have a lot of subscribers. So I sat down and I wrote a couple emails to people who I had been following and who I had been listening to. And I sent them off with butterflies in my stomach, thinking, oh my God, these people they're either not going to answer or they're going to tell me, go away. Sheila was one of those people, and she was the first one who got back to me and said, I'd love to do a collab with you.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like it was one of those that told me to go away. I was like, no, I wasn't.
No. She said, look, lose my number. No. Yeah, Sheila was the first one who had me on her channel, and I was as nervous could be, because it's like, yeah, you meet one of your heroes, and yeah, she's being nice to me.
Oh no, we walk shoulder and shoulder in this whole thing.
Yes, we do.
We do the work the same. We may look differently as we read, but we're walking shoulder to shoulder, and we are equal in all of this work that we do, including our subscribers. I have some incredible intuitive subscribers, and when I do a remote view, they pop in and say what they heard, what they saw. I'm like, oh yeah. And I see my remote view differently because of their input. I absolutely love it. Love it. And I love this here, says I have dyslexia too, Sheila. I feel like I have my own language at times. It's so true.
Yes.
They're like, what?
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right. So the one. So I want to read on Trump, but I don't want to read on get in his energy. His energy is too scattered. It always comes up grandiose. Every time I get in, it's like, let me read in Trump's thing, and it always like he's the winner and he's bigger, and he's this, that, and the other. Okay, but I want to see what his doctors are saying. I want to read what the doctors have said about him, because it looks like in one of his pants he's wearing a catheter. It looks like if you look through his pants, some pictures, I haven't verified them, but when I look at the pictures too, looks like he's wearing braces on his feet. It's just there's some weird stuff going on with his health. So I want to see what the doctors say. Yes. Let's get in there.
Absolutely. He was that picture that looked like he is wearing a catheter, and it certainly was taken at
the MMA fight
that Saturday during the UFC fight.
Yeah.
And he was wearing he had put on somebody's championship belt, so it really kind of brought things close to the skin.
It did. It kind of pulled it up, and you could tell, because I've seen people with catheters, and they have you could just kind of see it.
Yes.
But anyways, let's read on that. It says dyslexia is just an alternative perspective. There we go.
That's right.
We'll just call it that.
Yes. All right.
All right. Let's read on what the doctors are saying about his health. Oh, thank you, Ellie.
All right.
Thank you, Blue Rose. Duct tape and baling wire ain't working for him anymore. Exactly.
Yes. Thank you, Kimberly Knoss, who said, that his pictures of him from the back, show leg brace. They have wanted him to change his focus for quite some time. He is not listening. What he is doing is playing the blame game. He's looking for them to fix something that is unfixable. And he is not willing to listen to anyone who has said anything that goes against what he believes. They have gotten to the point that they are just waiting to be able to do something about it. So they're careful, and they're controlling their speech. They're not really saying too much, but they this leads to a fall from grace. They know he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and it's in the reports. And I wouldn't be the least little bit surprised if someone has his medical information and might be looking to release it.
Yeah, after he's dead, they can release it, but not before. This is very interesting. So, I have the King of Swords, which is the professional, I think, in the doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doctor's telling you stop doing what you're doing because you're going to have a harsh cutoff.
Yes.
It's going to be drastic. Heart attack, whatever. The doctors have warned him. There's something going on. I got the Star, trying to heal, but his past is catching up with him. Whatever he has done to his body, he really can't. He's in Delulu land, and what he desires is overpowering. Say somebody who has diabetes just refuses to give up sugar.
Yes.
Right? The medicine's not working anymore. And now you have to cut off your leg because you won't give up sugar. This is him. He will not give up whatever it is the doctor's telling him to do or to give up or whatever. So I got the Empress. The Empress is like kind of threw me for a loop. The Empress is that fertility or that abundance. Okay. And then I did a clarifier. So you're going to just kind of be shocked. So we have an abundance of a bounty hunter on his health.
Mm-hmm.
Self-explanatory. Yeah. He has a debt to pay.
Yes, he does.
Behavior. So his health, the doctor's knowing that there's something drastic, and it's going to be a drastic cutoff. So whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen quickly. And the doctor, it's clear the doctors are saying that if you don't stop, and he's not going to stop.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Let me just say, I do think that that the muskrat has his medical records, that he was when he was granted access to the IRS and so on and so forth. I think that that he did go in there and he did capture Trump's medical records. I think that he made a deal and has shared those records with a communist country. And it could be the mounting tensions between the US and that particular communist country that is going to send him over the edge. He doesn't think that they know what they know. They got the goods. They can release it.
Yeah, if it was about to leak, that would be nice. But yeah, after he's dead. So James Bond, I love James Bond. James Bond says, that's an awesome hair. That is a great head of hair I've ever seen in my life. It was red. I was a natural redhead. This is gray hair. I was a natural auburn, to be exact. I could probably post it, but so I was a natural redhead. Goes along with my Celtic DNA, which is 100%. Fellow warrior, absolutely. So thank you, James. But yeah, I was a natural redhead before it all turned to gray. And thanks to my father. My father was totally gray by the time he was 23. I was totally gray by the time I was 30. So there was that.
Yeah. I would love to have that hair, that
big, flowy, big. I have to have a whole bunch of gel on here just to tame it down. And on humid days, but we've got hair.
Yeah,
we've got hair to spare.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hope that we have calmed everybody down. From our readings, it looks like the army is not going to betray their oath. They're not going to do anything against the Constitution, at least most of them. I mean, a general population. I think that Trump is just throwing things out to get us distracted away from the Epstein. I think that his parade, he's really hoping for that, because that's what Kim Jong-un. I think we should just start scrolling and reporting on Kim Jong-un when he has a parade on his birth. It used to be his father's birthday they did a parade on, and they finally changed it to his birthday. So for his birthday, so and they called it the military parade, but all the military goes in there and shows up for Kim Jong-un. It's the exact same thing.
It is.
I think if we just allow them to be peaceful in Washington, D.C. while they do that, let's just get out here in the country and not give them any attention that they think they deserve.
Exactly.
So keep it safe out there. Protest, but please do walks. Keep it civil. I can't push that enough. They will accuse us of being riots, and they will accuse us of violence, but also, if you are out there with a phone, record it.
Yes.
The best
and play it to someone as you're recording it. Make sure someone else is getting it so that there's a record of it.
Post on your Facebook, wherever you got. You guys be your own journalists at this point in time, so that we can get the truth out there, because they will lie. And also evidence when it comes down to it. We have that. And there was something else. Spread the news. Tacos on June 14th. Absolutely. And it drives me crazy, because my birthday is June 13th. And I once I found out that I had the same month and almost the day before Trump's, I went, ugh. You know what I mean? I was like, bleh.
Well, we can celebrate on your birthday, because it's a real birthday.
It's a real birthday.
instead of his. Yeah.
Yeah.
His.
But, I know Geminis get a hard rap, but I'm also a Gemini's, Aquarius, Sagittarius, so there's that. Lots of air and a fire. Fire to fuel the air to fuel the fire, or the air fuel fire. Yeah, that. So
I love Geminis. I have a lot of Geminis in my life, and I enjoy spending time with them, because you're never bored with a Gemini. If you're bored with a Gemini, you're not paying attention.
Your fault.
There's something wrong with you. Yeah, it's your fault.
It's your fault. And I always say, come on, Panda. It's my
Panda.
My Pandalina. I always say everybody needs a pet Gemini.
Yes.
If you have a boring life, go find you a pet Gemini, hang out with them for a while, and it'll be over. You will feel like laughter, love, and compassion, and all of that is all back in the world again.
Exactly.
Unless you're dealing with Trump. Trump gave up his good Gemini a long time ago.
Oh, he did. I don't.
A bad Gemini is nothing to be messing with, and this is what we're dealing with. But. But anyways, all right, come on, Panda, say bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Please subscribe on your way out. Hit the like button on your way out.
Yes, thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
Love this.
Bye.
Bye.
She's not letting me do this. Okay.